What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to our live stream again this week. Johnny RedPanda here. This Friday, we're going to be talking about the winner, talking to a winner of the competition. We're going to talk a little bit about the strategies, what they did, a couple of other things. What's up, Runak? How's it going? You guys doing all right? It's Friday. What's better than Friday? All right. So if you haven't, if you missed out a little bit about this competition, it was a $400,000 competition. $10,000 per person. You had to do heroic Fort Desolation with 40 people in the fastest time possible. The winning team had a record of, I think, 3 minutes, 25 seconds, and then some odd milliseconds. And the second place team was so close behind them, was only 0.4 seconds behind. This was legitimately like Olympic style. You had to have slow motion cameras at the finish line for this race. We're going to be talking to a member from the team, which is called Ascension, for this. His name is Z0diak. I believe I got that correct. Is that right?
Yeah, that is Z0diak's fine.
All right, cool. Z0diak, how's it going?
It's good, man. I'm doing well. It's Friday. Look forward to the weekend.
Looking forward to the weekend. Yeah, I got big plans for Crusaders this weekend.
Yeah, a new patch just came out. Playing a little bit, so definitely looking forward to see what else is out there.
Yeah, we opened Heroic Skyblaze. You know that?
I do. I think we're probably going to try that tomorrow afternoon. So
yeah, gonna go take down Heroic Skyblaze. That'll be fun. Did you guys beat normal Skyblaze and everything already?
Yeah, we finished everything there is except one boss in Heroic Lush is the only thing we haven't killed yet.
Oh, Heroic Lush, that's the plant one, right?
Yeah, Ashroot.
Ashroot with his like mushrooms that just like pop up, and it's like if you gotta like the DP, you have to like run to the mushroom and then run to the other mushroom, and if you don't have the DPS done by the fourth mushroom, it's GG.
You start running out of space to live, yeah.
Yeah. What's the DPS you guys are pulling, and you're still like struggling with that?
When we do those kind of runs, people are 15, 16,000 or so.
Wow.
When we were doing the competition, though, because it was AoE and stuff, we had people in the low mid-20s.
Right. Because the AoE, you're pulling up all the mobs and you're just like nuking it, everything. Yeah. No, Ashroot is. I've struggled on normal Ashroot. My gear is definitely nowhere near as some of yours, but yeah. So maybe you can do Heroic Skyblaze, get some new gear out of there, and then go punch Ashroot again. Hopefully.
The plan is we'll work our way through.
Yeah.
I don't know how far we're going to get in Skyblaze, so we'll have to find out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did put in new sets.
That's right. There's the new Divine set, and there's a bunch of new gear from the arenas and everything also.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Hopefully all of that should help us with our progression.
Yeah. The two D3 sets, Torture Jewel and Arcane Crystal, are in Heroic Skyblaze. That hopefully will help. Maybe you guys will end up theory crafting. Do I want to keep my Malum? Or do I want to break my Ghast? Like, that kind of stuff.
We spent a lot of time during the competition and even now trying to figure out which sets work best, because Ghast is great if you're in the group, but if you're a ranger like me, it's not really that helpful when you're so far away. So we did a whole lot of testing, switching with Soul Eater and even Mana Flame and some of the lower sets that still did more damage.
Wow. So how did you hear about us? Like, how did you start playing?
I actually found Crusaders Light just on the Google Play Store. I was looking for something new to do. I was playing kind of boring tower defense games and just wanted something to do, kill some time, and it popped up as one of the, hey, games you might like, and I just downloaded it, and then I've had so much fun ever since. I don't actually really play anything else anymore. Oh. It's kind of become my go-to game.
Nice. Yeah, Google knows everything.
Love it.
So you've played MMOs before then? Judging from your experience.
I've actually been playing I'm only 33, but I've been playing almost 2/3 of my life now. I started with Ultima Online, which probably why I still love PvP as my primary passion, which you guys just put in a bunch of new content, so I'm super excited for that. And went from there, played EverQuest and Asheron's Call, and then to WoW, which most people are familiar with. Played a few more, and then played Lineage and Final Fantasy and some other ones, and then took a long break. And Crusaders of Light would be the first MMO I've played since. So
yeah, cool. So you weren't part of Help Me Plox's guild, Ascension, right?
No, I'm not. I was part of a guild called Extreme, which had two of the top, like, 5 people on our whole server. So they were sort of already going, but I hadn't been. And they sort of told me about it, and I'd been interested in the competition. So I started going on a few raids, and I realized it would be better for everyone if I switched over to Ascension for progression. So I actually left my guild Extreme for a couple weeks and went to the competition so we could go through, Skyblaze and Heroic Lush and all this to get, as it, 0.4 seconds, it seems like it might have mattered. That one piece of gear could have been the reason we won.
Yeah. 0.4 seconds is like maybe someone got a couple of lucky crits, maybe some ranged DPS stood like a step closer. Like that was so mind-blowing when the data came out. I was like, you're serious? This is 0.4 seconds.
That's like that's literally just a lag spec. That's whether you cast a spell in a second or a second and a half.
Yeah, or if you got like a lucky reset, like anything is possible.
Oh, yeah.
With 40 people, like less than a second, like so much could happen. It's insane. So how did you guys finally formulate, like, walk me through the whole process of, okay, well, we've done Heroic Fort Desolation before. How do we do it faster?
So, I mean, it was a huge process. I guess theory craft is sort of the term for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got a group together once we heard about the competition, which is probably a month and a half ago, or right near when the server started. And we started running 40 people through, and we just started realizing that there's a lot of different ways you can accomplish the same goal. You can group everybody up, you can attack them one at a time, and the first run we just went through as fast as we could, and we realized our time was nowhere close to competitive. So we knew that our gear wasn't quite the best, so we knew that the only way we were going to win is with strategy. And some of the things we started realizing was in the rules, the time doesn't start until you first do damage. But that doesn't mean they can't damage you. So what we would do is we would actually run all the way up to the first boss and drag all of the trash mobs to Conflagras, the first boss in Heroic Deso, and then we would teleport everybody up there and still not attack. So we'd wait for everyone to get there so no one's lagging, everybody's ready, and then we would all AoE at the same time. And not only would that kill all of them the fastest, but our set effects would remain. So when the boss came up, he was actually already at 95, 94% before anyone even touched him. So the set effects would start to hit him immediately, which started the encounter faster. And, that was the biggest increase for us, was figuring out that first phase. And then the second set of trash mobs is sort of we tried similar tactics and it just didn't work the same. So we had been getting 4-minute times doing them, grouping them. And we went back to our old strategy of just doing one tier at a time. And when the guys are down to about 10 or 15%, we leave single target rangers and single target guys to finish them off. And the AoE group jumps down to the next platform. So this was a strategy that we sort of formulated over 2 months of practice. And to be fair, the 40 people won, but our team was really closer to 60 or 70 people. I mean, we had different people early on that helped formulate the strategy and part of the team. And then as we got farther into the competition, we realized gear was going to matter, and we needed the best damage on the server. So we started doing damage checks in town and getting the strongest people and subbing them in. So it's funny, we actually have thought about the idea of getting a crowdfunding thing going to share some of our money with them, because really 60 people won the competition, not 40. So.
Oh, yeah, it's a team effort, right?
Absolutely. Well, the team, the funny part you mentioned at the beginning was I wasn't part of Ascension, and there were 2 other guilds, which was Notorious and Evo CN, who were sort of all the strongest guilds, along with Extreme and Ascension, that all came together. So on this team, no guild had more than probably 15 people.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing.
And let's just say we weren't all friends before the competition. In fact, we're probably not all friends now, but it's a little easier with $10,000.
Yeah. So I was watching Galandon and Chief Pat, and you guys had someone had mentioned that you guys were using Ranger's roll ability to move through the dungeon faster, and then using that to progress the tiers faster. When I heard that, I was like, wow, you guys really thought of every single possible thing to get you that extra the extra like millisecond. And in the end, it really did matter. All this little strategy stuff, all these little things, adjustments that you all made. That's just amazing.
I mean, you think that, at the end of the day, you put all this effort in, but really the best team is going to win, and the best team did win, but it was every little thing. I mean, the warrior or the ranger roll thing, what we did is we used to just have one ranger roll because they're faster than running, and we actually realized it's a little faster if you have 2 or even 3 rangers. As soon as they roll, you follow, and the next ranger rolls, and you follow, and so doing that pattern and progression is faster than just one guy running.
So did you actually like practice the ranger hitting roll and then passing lead? Like just outside?
We spent probably 20, 30 hours over the whole competition just figuring out how to get from point A to Gorgonda's room faster.
Wow. I can just like imagine people like practicing the rolling pattern, and it's like you'd see just people outside rolling, and it's like what are these people doing? So you almost need like 80s montage music.
It wouldn't have been a bad idea. We definitely probably looked pretty weird in town doing rolling races through the city.
Yeah. So throughout the whole competition, I know from talking to other teams, including some people on your team, that you guys were sandbagging at some point.
It's funny you say that. So we did. We didn't want people to know our time, and at the very end, we knew. I think it was on Thursday or Friday was the last time that times would be posted publicly. So we didn't want to be in first place. We wanted to let the people who had been in first the whole competition kind of think that they had this thing in the bag.
Right.
And what was funny is we ended up clocking like a 3:40 time, but it happened just after the server times were pulled. So we thought we had screwed up the whole sandbagging effort, and that everyone was going to see what a great time we had.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully that didn't happen, and our next best time was like 4.5 minutes or 4:40 something. So by the time the final scores came out before the last weekend, we were behind like 40 seconds, and they probably thought they had it in the bag, even though they were sandbagging too, because their next time was 40 seconds faster.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So we just sandbagged a little better, I guess.
You're trying to like make them think that they got it in the bag, make them relax a little bit. So
there was a lot of psychological warfare. They sent people to our server giving us, or I shouldn't say they, but some people came to our server to give us, strategies that weren't very efficient, and we started ignoring a lot of that eventually. But it was more than just the game for sure. It was intense. It was very competitive.
Yeah. So since you knew you were sandbagging your time, by the time you got like your sub 3:30 times, were you like super confident in knowing that this was it?
No, because that didn't happen until about 20 minutes before the competition was over. We had the 3:40 time I mentioned a week before the competition ended, and then from that point until the last Sunday of the competition, until about 11:30, we did not replicate that time. We couldn't get it. We just could not break 3:40. We couldn't even break 3:50.
Wow.
And we were struggling, and we changed a few tactics and went back to the old way that had worked. And at about 11:30 something, we did some sort of desperation runs, and we got sub 3:30. Everyone celebrating and screaming, and go, everyone shut up, we gotta go again. And so we squeezed in a couple more runs, and I think the second to last run was the winning one. So I mean,
you guys were running it up to the clock. Everyone was.
Yeah, that was the end of a 3-day, 6 hours a day of competition runs, and then plus however much practice on top. So it was a pretty exhausting weekend.
Do you ever want to see Fort Desolation again?
No, I do not go there. If I do, I just AFK and let my character do the work, but I will probably never go back.
You're just like, I'm done. I never want to see this. It's over. Breaking up with it. So do you have any advice for other players who maybe have just like started picking up the game or have just started getting into the game and are like would like to experience this large scale raiding?
Right. I mean, the best thing that I can recommend, and this is definitely with Crusaders of Light, but games of this genre in general, is that the game's great. The first few weeks you play or a few days you play, the content's exciting, you learn the characters, but being social, I mean, that's what makes these games so much fun, is make friends. Crusaders of Light has a great feature where you can auto match, so I don't think I've ever needed a raid of 5 or even 20 people or 30, whatever it is, and haven't found a group. If I don't have friends who are available, there's the auto match feature, which is great. I mean, it really lets you join random people who are doing the same content you want to, and you get to meet people. So the social aspect of the game is what makes it sort of enduring, because there's only so much content.
Right.
And without the social aspect, it's just, it adds that little extra. It makes the game great.
Right. We also have friend spaces now.
That just came out. We have friend space, which is, we're still exploring, it's
Yeah.
the best way to utilize it, but it seems really cool. So.
Yeah. Share if you agree.
Right. Yeah, I better get 100 likes on my page for this.
Oh, hey Z0diak, we got a question from our viewers.
Okay.
What formation do you use for heroic Gorgana? Our guild has troubles because of the pentagram/shield, and do sigils actually do something?
So there's the whole myth or rumor that both wolves and sigils will act as characters and make the pentagrams appear below them, and they act like a character, so it's considered someone sitting in them, which gives Gorgana a shield. The pull strategy we used was a little different, but the part of the fight you're talking about is once you have him positioned in the lava when you're fighting with him, what we kind of recommend is you put all your damage right under his tail. You sit right under his tail, and then you have rangers or tamers, about 4 to 5 of them, sit on the grate, which is just about max range behind him when you have him in the lava. And rangers can roll out of it. So you have those guys, as long as you have 4 or 5 people on the grate, all the pentagrams will spawn right on them, and they can roll out of the way, and then the entire raid can just DPS without having to worry about pentagrams and shields or anything else. So that's the formation we use, and it really works well.
And they gotta kill the orbs.
We didn't have to, because we had enough DPS to kill him without even doing it, but yes, definitely you want to focus orbs until you have a kill.
Yeah.
In hand.
Yeah, you gotta get the orbs down first, and then when you have the DPS like you guys do, you can ignore that part. But definitely, I guess for more beginners, if you're still struggling with it, you might want to pay attention to those things.
Absolutely. It's a wipe if you don't drop the orbs. So definitely focus on those. And I believe the timing is once the orbs spawn, you have 2 or 3 seconds until the pentagrams. So once you get used to that, once you see the orbs, the guys who are on great need to know to start paying attention. And as soon as those things spawn, get out of the way. And then kill the orb.
Cool. We've got another question, not related to Fort Deso, thankfully. It's actually the Ash Fort. Some people, they want to know if it's necessary to kill the ads on the first boss in Ash Fort. Some people say the ads give him more power.
We don't. We haven't noticed anything. We literally just let the ads do their thing. We all group on a rock, which is on the left of the area, all the DPS, and the tanks do switching like normal. We have a couple mystics take the spores, but as far as the army of mushrooms, the ads, we just let them run around. I don't think they buff him. The only thing that I know that buffs him is when he eats a mushroom. So you definitely don't want to let him eat a golden mushroom, because then you're in trouble.
Yeah. Some DPS really wants to eat that mushroom and then go point at the damage charts later.
Right.
And then say, hey guys, look at my damage. Totally not on any performance enhancing drugs.
I would recommend, show off somewhere else, because it's more important the team to get the kill than to look the best when you're dead.
Yeah. Can't do DPS if you're dead.
That's right.
Yep. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give out right now, or...
Yeah, I want to give a shout-out, one, definitely to Mafia, who's the leader of Extreme. He was very patient and understanding that I left and went to Ascension. And then I do want to thank Santra and Raid, who are the head of Ascension, for bringing me in and letting me help them and doing progression. And I'll also thank Evo Devil, who's the head of Evo CN, and Kaiziel, who was the head of Notorious, because there was a lot of politics and friends, and I'm sure I'm forgetting people who spoke Mandarin, because we have a lot of non-English speakers on our team, but really everybody, the whole 60 people who helped, whether you got the prize or not, we really appreciate your help.
Cool. Oh, Z0diak, one more. I think I may have gotten something confused. So they want to know the ads for Leodor, not for Mushroom Guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, for Ashfort, not for Lush. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For Leodor. So, and the question was, do we kill them?
Yeah. Is it necessary to kill the ads for Leodor?
So if you can get him down to half health before the ads come, they don't spawn at all. But when they spawn, you absolutely have to, because each ad that's still up, and if there's a bit of a delay, so if they're up even a second or two before he goes up, they do make the AoE much stronger. So for people, especially newer progression, when you're doing it, you have to have people in all four corners killing the ads, or you're gonna wipe.
All right, you hear that, guys? Kill the ads first. Also, don't stand in the proper circles. You know, Leodor does his little thing. You want to stand in the proper circles.
Positive and positive is negative, right?
Yeah. I've definitely been confused on that a couple of times. I'm like, oh, wait, no, yes. Wait, which one?
It gets worse when you get the set effects, because then you have fake negative and positive.
Right, the set effects. Yeah.
Confusing.
Yeah, that would be very confusing. All right, well, thank you so much for your time, Z0diak. Maybe we'll see you on, you guys on Thundercall, right?
Yeah, definitely come to the Thundercall server. You know, it's the best there is. I think we proved that. And come try and beat us next time. We'll see you at the next competition.
Oh, Gauntlet Throne. All right, thank you so much again.
Thanks, guys. Take care, Johnny.
Yep, take care. Thanks again so much, everyone, for tuning in. That was Z0diak from Thundercall server, one of the winners for the $400,000 competition. It was a great time talking to him. I hope you all learned something. He definitely gave some great advice for even like future teammates such as Leodor and Everlush. If you have any other things you want to see on the stream for the next week, let us know in our Facebook, Twitter, forums. You know where to reach me. Other than that, that's it. Everyone have a great weekend. Good luck on your raid drops. See you later.